Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It's Foreign's the fiance.
And we are back.
Back. Sidebar, following up for the conversation we were having before we started recording. Does your mum ever say anything about how I speak Igbo and, you don't?
No, why would she?
No, because it's a very Igbo mum thing to do, to be, this, even she can speak Igbo and you can't.
My mum doesn't care that I can't speak Igbo.
Really?
It's not like she taught me and I said, no, I don't want to learn.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, don't worry. She doesn't think that you're better than me because you speak Igbo and I don't. So
She
don't worry
probably
about
thinks
that one.
I'm better than you for other reasons, so just all around damn.
Speak to your own mum about who's better than you. So today we are doing a BBC documentary called Scam Stories, The Money Drop, which is a BBC documentary, and it centers three different, I want to say victims, because technically they were victims, and they're scammed by three different people. So it's not like it's one person perpetrating all these scams.
This documentary was, I just want to start off to say it was quite, it wasn't shit. It was an interesting it's a difficult it's a difficult documentary to narrate, and also that bit you just said now about it was three different people, they didn't make that clear.
Yeah, they did. That's how I know.
No, I don't think it was at first I was like, oh, it's the same guy.
Well, I
knew that because the stories were so different, then I was like, okay, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, okay. So, there were three different people and three different scammers. But it's not as if these are the only three people this has ever happened to. And I doubt that they're the only three people that these people scammed. So,
of course not.
Yeah. So, the first person, and like Foreign said, it is weird. Like, it's one of those documentaries, and we have a few of them that we've done before where it just feels kind of higgy-haggy. It just feels like it's all over the place. Mm-hmm. And so if it feels like that throughout the episode, that's how it was throughout the documentary, right?
Yeah.
So the first person we meet is this girl called Ofunne, and she's 22 from Leeds.
Right? Oh, you said that right.
She started uni, she's young, naive, and she has no idea what this whole idea of deetsing is, right?
Why did you eye roll? No, because even I wouldn't have said that way.
But that's how the last three letters are like Nenna.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
how you say it.
But
then Ofu is Ofu. So how else would you say it?
I would have said Ofunne. But you said you said the right thing, which people often don't. So
okay, it's giving. Oh my God, you're white, and you said my name right. Oh my God. That's what it's giving.
F off.
Okay.
F off.
Okay.
But can I just say she's very, very pretty.
She is. She's too pretty to be. She's too pretty to be going through what she's going through.
Way too pretty. She's stunning. And that hairstyle is my next hairstyle, by the way.
So yeah, she's pretty, but she's. Do you know what? Yeah.
I think her personality and this thing that happened to her matches her vibe.
Yeah.
No? She's very pretty, naive babe.
Yeah. And I think, do you know what it is as well? Throughout the documentary, I was like, this girl's so stupid, yeah. But I had to check myself because it's not that she's stupid. I think she's naive, yeah, which I think is different. And I also feel like it's one of those things where because you wouldn't do something to someone, you couldn't possibly fathom that somebody would do it to you. Or if you would do something for someone, you couldn't possibly fathom that they wouldn't do it for you. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I guess is the whole naivety thing. But yeah, she's so pretty and just so anyway, so... She doesn't know what deetsing is. She doesn't know what a monomule is. She doesn't know what drops and squares are. I didn't know what drops and squares were either, to be honest.
Monomule before this documentary.
Yeah, I said, what's drops and squares? I was like,
but I know nothing. I know nothing about scamming. Fraud. Yeah, I know nothing.
I mean, why would you?
Even squares. I only probably last year learned that it was cards.
Yeah, I didn't know. I hadn't heard that term before.
I don't want to know. I'm happy that I don't know these things. Even all this drug paraphernalia, I don't know anything, and I'm not trying to know. Don't tell me.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay.
Actually,
I'm all right. I'd rather be ignorant.
But I literally, there's a lot of digressing here. But I think fraud. I just want to put this out there because that's what we're talking about in this documentary. But personally, to me, it's one of the for me, I think it's one of the worst non-violent crimes.
What, fraud?
Yeah,
nothing.
100%. Nothing boils my blood like guys who do fraud. I don't find it endearing. I don't glamorize that lifestyle. It makes me feel sick.
It's trash.
You work hard for your money, right? And I know what I do to save every penny that I have or whatever. I know what I do, right, at work and whatnot. And then for me to open my account one day and you've taken my money because you have chosen to do this instead of going out and working hard. I think
it's one thing to like rob this England, and it's another thing to rob like people who are going to work and just living normal life. Like so Hush Puppy, Hush Puppy defrauded like governments,
yeah,
from my understanding, and that's bad. Hush Puppy, that's wrong. You shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? But there's a difference between doing that,
what are you telling him off?
Yeah, it's a naughty. What's his name? Ramon, whatever his name is. Yeah, it's a difference between doing that and like targeting like everyday working people who literally are living paycheck to paycheck, trying to pay their rent, trying to pay their mortgage, trying to go to uni. Like I feel like
it's actually terrible.
Yeah, it's so so you can go and buy drip. Like,
and I just think like to what flipping avail? Like when you do fraud, like okay, with Hush Puppy, it was so blatant that he was doing fraud because
he wanted to get caught. I feel like he wanted to.
Right,
he wanted to.
You can't buy property. You can't do anything. You're just renting cars, like so. What like when
paying for everything in cash?
Okay, so when you're like 50 and you sit back and you look at your life, you have absolutely nothing to show.
You can't. It's not sustainable. Exactly. I feel like if you're gonna, and this is not advice to any fraudsters out there, but if you're gonna do fraud, like you have to have a plan. Like it has to be for a certain amount, and then you have to now clean the money, and then you do something legit. Like what's his name? Jamie Ghost. What's his name? And he had the club. Obviously,
James
this is not a
St.
great
Patrick.
example because it didn't end well for him. But I'm just saying that like the drugs or the crime, the fraud, it fuels whatever.
Or
and
Walter.
then
Walt.
Oh yeah, see
from Breaking
him.
Bad.
Yeah, but he as well. Maybe there's something. Maybe you just don't stop. You can't stop. Maybe
he
just
couldn't stop.
Go off the rails.
He went in way.
Yeah, he went way too
deep.
far.
Yeah.
Then we had that Los Pollos Chicken Locos man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. So, I mean, long story short, just don't do fraud. I don't think there's a way out.
Yeah.
You become accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and then you can't give it up.
You can't give it up. Can't go legit.
Yeah. Too legit to quit. So on-screen text gives us a definition of like all these things. So a money mule is someone who allows criminal funds to pass through their own bank account in return for a cut, right? It's also known as deetsin, drops, squares, and basically is money laundering. Yeah, and lots of people are being used as the mules or the launderers, whether they know about it or they don't know about it. The laundrettes. Some of them are laundrettes, yeah, and it's like you either know. So like in these stories, I don't think that they knew per se, but the thing is that like surely someone's telling you're gonna have hella money when you've had nothing. Surely you suspect that something is off. Like surely
something is amiss.
Yeah, like something is amiss. But okay. Anyway, our first girl, our pretty babe, Ofunne, she doesn't know anything about it, right? But she's excited to be going to uni. She's passionate about her course, and this is her first time being away from home. She's like pause. Florence's mum just walked by, and when I say that her hair is making me want to cut my hair, like as in I've been so good.
All urges.
I've been so good not wanting to cut my hair, and like now I'm looking at it, I'm like, actually, summer's coming.
Don't forget, she had years of having hair on her that you did not have on you, if that makes sense.
What, your mum?
Yeah.
Guys,
okay.
So basically I should wait.
Oh, guys, my window's open. You're going to hear, like, I don't know if there's a biker gang outside, and I don't even live in that kind of environment. So
not biker gang.
At best, somebody ordered Deliveroo.
Not, what's it called? Not the Harley Davidson.
Literally, not fucking Hell's Angels or what they call themselves.
That's it.
Yeah, no, she had many years of having hair that you were busy
fine.
chopping.
Okay, maybe when I get to 40, on my 40th birthday, I cut it off.
Yeah, and then you can do the blonde.
I was going to do 30th, but we're not that far away, so
people telling me like, oh, your mum's got hair, you can do it. I'm like, cool story, bro, it's not for me. But I used to tell her not to do it. I was like,
exactly,
don't do
and
it.
then she did it. Maybe just do it, innit?
Nah, absolutely.
I'm trying to see. I'm looking at you. I'm trying to imagine it.
But to be fair, like when I do my slick back middle part,
this is what I'm saying. Like you're giving face. Yeah. I feel like when you do a slip back middle part bun, like you're giving face, and like when you do your makeup, it's like face like I'm buff.
Everybody
like it's not because of hair. Like I'm actually buff.
That's their favorite hairstyle on me. Like
I like that hairstyle on you. I really do. Yeah. And I like when you have like your twist out when your hair's just like out.
Yeah, but that's hard to like.
I know it looks good though. It looks really good. Yeah, I like it. Anyway, summer's coming. So
summer's coming. I'm
expecting to see it. Trust me, Daddy. Well, when you did the blonde, I know you said you wouldn't do it again. The wax or the
Oh,
the
I
colour
probably
thing.
would do it again, but just not put as much as I put in that time.
Okay.
So like
okay,
little streaks, but like again,
I don't know if it'd work on my hair. You know.
why not? It works on all
Would
hair.
it?
I saw it on 4C hair first before.
Is it?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
I'll
not
try
really here for summer, so I don't know because I'm gonna be come back in July, and I'll have braids, and then I'll take them out, and
It's true.
in time for my bridal shower. Shower me with bridal shit. Straws of dicks, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
If I don't see a dick straw that
no, of
day,
course there'll be several. I think there'll be very much
come on, that's my
stickyphernalia.
brand. Let there be dicks flapping everywhere. That's a dream.
Amen and amen. There will be, of course.
Yeah,
it's you.
good. Yeah,
It's you.
mm.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
This is going to be a very. It might as well have been a credits because the
It might as well have
itself-
been. It might as well have been. It might as well have been. Anyway, guys, so just tune in.
drops deets something. That's what you're talking about.
Squares, yes, she goes uni. Yeah, she's like really excited to go uni. You know, as we all were. You know, once upon a time. Not so much. I wasn't really excited about my course. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna be out and about.
I thought I was so fucking grown in uni. Like you couldn't tell
We
me
really thought
nothing.
you couldn't tell me anything. What do you mean?
I was a grown ass woman. Like,
do you know what I
oh my
remember the
God.
first day? Because when I went to uni, I think I went up on a Thursday or a Friday, and then on the Saturday morning, yeah, I remember waking up, and it was just silence. There was no, oh, come on, do this. Come on, do this. Are you there? You haven't. It was just silent, and I remember looking at the ceiling like, oh my God, like
This
wow.
is life. Yeah.
Literally, I was like, I've made it. Like,
Yeah, literally.
no one
I
asked me
remember
to
waking
wash
up and,
plate.
like, nobody's telling me, oh, like, you're still in bed at this time, this one, that one. I woke up and I wanted to took my time unpack. Nobody's saying to me, well, you haven't unpacked since. This suitcase has been here. I unpacked when I wanted to unpack. I ordered what the fuck I wanted to order. Nah. Uni was like, I didn't appreciate it enough.
Yeah, at the time. Do you know why? It's because we had to go to uni. Everything else about it was great. Like, you see your friends, they can come around whenever, you can go out whenever, you can do what you want. But then you just had the slight inconvenience of having to go to lectures and having to do like coursework
Even
or
uni
whatever.
hopping, and I had like a boyfriend in every like uni I would hop to. Like literally, I actually had a Notts boyfriend. I had a Manchester boyfriend.
Oh my God.
I had Birms. Like I was really like
living the life la
in
vida.
my prime. Like what the fuck? Now I'm like gonna be old and married and boring and just like
You're not gonna be boring. You're married is what you
one
make
man
it.
for life. One man to be
One man.
Yeah. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's your decision. You haven't done it yet anyway, so it's not like you're stuck. If you like, change your mind. Before I buy my ticket, make up your mind. So we also meet this girl called Victoria, who is 20, and she's from Lincoln. So she has a job in this little boutique, and she said it pays really badly, which of course it does.
Yeah.
But she's in sixth form at the time, so it's money that she wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's like at that age, anything over £100 is like, oh, she got money.
my God, she got
You're
literally.
like, oh, literally, I'm a rich
You know
bitch.
the babe that said she got money is the babe from Abbott Academy.
Yeah. It is,
okay.
yeah.
But I didn't know at the time
Prince
she was
of-
an actress. Or did
I
she
don't
just
know.
blow from
I don't
the
know
meme?
that she was. No, but so many people from Vine like just blew. But I guess it makes sense because they were creative as hell in those 4 seconds.
Yeah, I need God of Vine locate me. God of what's his name?
Victor Kunda.
Locate me.
Yeah, I love him. I love him so much.
Locate
His face
me.
is so pleasing to the eye. So yeah, Victoria's broke basically. Yeah, that's her introduction. And then we meet this guy called Zachary, who is 20 years old. Everyone's busy young, but Zachary is from London, and he tells us that his friend his friend introduced him to Squares, right? So the MO of these scammers is always the same. Yeah, basically all of them have very similar experiences, but I feel like Ofunes is a bit different.
Yeah.
Kind of, but the other two is kind of the same. So the scammers, they're on social media, they're driving new cars, they always have money, they're wearing Louis, Prada, Fendi, all that stuff, yeah. And so it makes you think like, oh my gosh, wow, like they're living the life, like this is how they sow the seed.
La vida.
Literally, they're living the life la vida, like they're sowing the seed. Now, where's your mum?
It would have been good for her. Yeah, she would have turned back. Like I told her. I told her, she was like, so you people are using me for content for your podcast.
No, she's gonna ask for a cut.
Girl, bye.
Royalties. So yeah, they're literally sowing the seed of this is the life you could have. You could be like me. Do you know, like, oh, I want to be like you, big man, all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
big broism.
big broism. So it's like
killing our people.
So Zachary says that, you know, his scammer would always have screenshots of like his bank balance, but it'd be like 78k and stuff like that. Lots of cash on Snapchat, all this stuff.
Story.
Yeah, and it's like, you know that episode for Renz when you were like, if you're still on Snapchat at a certain age, like you're up to no good. Like,
No good.
Literally,
No good.
this is proof, because it's like only the youngers are on Snapchat, so they're the ones who you're gonna get, and like you're on Snapchat flashing cash, basically showing
It's
that you're
like,
doing illegal shit.
oh
Like, I
my
don't
God.
understand it. It's very ridiculous. So we get this little reconstruction about how the scam works. It's always on Snapchat. Their face, so the scammer, their face is covered up by money or emojis or whatever it is, yeah. And again, like, this is the naivety we're talking about, because Victoria was like, oh, you know, I didn't think it was weird that he wasn't showing his face. I just thought maybe he was self-conscious. And it's like, mate, he's not got acne and he's worried that
And
you're
also,
gonna see
men
it.
are
He's a criminal.
Men are allowed to be ugly. So even if he was ugly, he wouldn't care.
If he had all this money and he was ugly, why would he care? Because now he has the money, so the ugly doesn't matter.
Please, she said that he had acne. I thought he had acne.
I said, bitch, very ridiculous behavior. So all three of our victors, they were actually losers.
Literally, they were far from victors.
They reached out to the scammers first, right? So Victoria and Zachary directly, kind of like being like, oh my God, like, how do you make so much money? And that's what they want. They're like baiting you.
Yeah. But I would never ask someone that. Like,
mate, it's none of my concern.
It's
literally.
none of my
It's
concern.
none of my concern anymore. So then Athena is her one is she's like shooting her shot. So she's looking for love. Okay. So
I wanna find love in this club. There's a song for everything, guys.
She like starts liking pictures, and basically then the scammer reaches out to her. Like,
It's given
like,
Ciara in that song. What's that song? I can't leave him alone.
Yeah.
It's given Ciara in that song. Like, literally, she's just the bad boys.
She is, and the thing is that
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just in a silly mood.
Athena's one is so dumb, because it's like she like basically shot her shot. Yeah, she's liking all these pictures, and when he like reached out to her, followed her back, she must have been happy. Like, oh my God, yay! This time it's the beginning of your downfall.
Literally.
It's the beginning of your downfall.
Like, there's always that one moment where you're like, if I just took a different like path,
Yeah,
my life
if I
would be
just
so
didn't
different.
do this.
And that was that part. She could have literally seen him and just been like, oh, like.
But there's so many times that there's so many times where she could have taken a different path. She was very adamant on this particular path, and so
she wanted to do like thug passion, innit? Like, ride or die. Like, I'll follow you to prison, cocaine up your ass. Like,
I ride for my nigga's dog.
It is what it is.
So they describe the scammers. Describe this whole thing to Victoria as refunded payments. So basically, like, there's no risk. It's 100% legit.
What
and
is
again,
refunded payments?
Thank you very much. Why are there no red flags? Why?
What, like, refunded how? Did you return like your ASOS parcel? Like,
yeah.
What is the refund? Like, you can't just come and say it's refund. Like, refund from where?
Refund to who? Refund where? So they asked for her card details, and they're like, we put money in your account. They did the same thing with Zachary, and he's like, okay. Zachary's like, okay, so I've given you my card details. Like, what's next? And then they're like, look, just wait.
Zachary didn't say that. Zachary basically did a black scent.
I've got clips of Zachary later.
Please. Okay.
I've got clips of Zachary later, because Zachary
Zach, by the way, for context, Zachary is like a theatre student, like, in London. I don't know what school he goes to, but he's the kind of guy that dresses. Okay, he dresses like, when Jadena was doing like, I'm a classic man, that whole vibe, the suit with it. That's how Zachary dresses. Theatre student. Yeah. There were pictures of him like that, even though he wasn't dressed like that in this BBC whatever. But
no, that's the vibe.
He dresses like those rich kids from college. Do you remember those rich kids from college?
Yeah.
That would be in smoke.
He's giving North London vibes.
Literally, and not just North London, like Highgate, like Barnet, like And you're sitting there. Okay.
He's giving, that road on the, Hampstead. Mm-hmm. He's giving
Okay, let me sit here and mind my business before they say I said.
Yeah, Yeah. So Afunde's own is a bit different. Yeah, she thinks that she's going on a date. Yeah.
Nah, you know what? I've fallen for some wayward men, so and I can't laugh.
Look, Afunde, baby girl. If you're listening, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at your situation. Yeah. That, to be fair, you put yourself in, but I'm not laughing at you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I I'm here for you, and I'm glad you're in a better place right now. But this situation, I'm sure in hindsight that she herself is like, rah, mad thing, can't believe this happened.
How did I do this? Yeah.
How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Like, she thinks it's a date. So she meets this guy. He's driving a white BMW. She's gassed. She's feeling fly. She's like, yeah, bag me a baller shot caller, yeah. And she says, you know, he's someone that had his shit together.
Car he's leasing, he's a baller shot caller. Okay.
Can you imagine? Is that all it takes?
Oh,
but no, but deep it. We're thinking about it now as
yeah,
like,
I guess as a
back in
kid,
the day.
yeah.
Imagine you're at college and some guy in a BMW is coming to pick you up, like.
Ooh, I do remember that. I was dating this guy that had a BMW, and I thought he was like,
fam, the shiz naive.
He was.
Does life even get better than this?
You can beep the name out. It was.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Liz will
what
remember.
was this? Was this college times?
This was like after. Was it college? It was actually college going into uni. And when I think about it, I was actually mad young.
How old was he?
No, he wasn't crazy.
He was like,
crazy older. He was in uni,
older.
but I think he was in uni. He was either in uni or either graduated.
Oh, why has he got a BMW in uni? You had a BMW in uni?
No, then he was graduated. I don't know what the age difference is. But yeah, I remember I was like so gassed. I was like, I'm dating a guy with a BM. Like,
this is what I'm saying. Do you get what I mean?
Oh my God.
This is what I'm saying. So it makes so much sense for her to be gassed, like, and then he takes her out and stuff, and it's like, yeah, come on, like, look at me. And then you're sitting in traffic and you're in the car, you're doing snap on the dashboard. Of
course you are. Like, come on.
So, you know, you've got to take yourself back to the mind of an 18-year-old or however old you are when you're in uni. So Victoria says, you know, best case scenario, she'd be able to get £1,000 and be able to save and help her family out. And I was just thinking, like, I really miss the days when £1,000 was like
big
a
money.
lot of money.
Like,
yeah,
do you know it's so wild to me that like £1,000 would do absolutely nothing for me. Like, if you want to give it to me, like, that's great, but it's not gonna.
But I would pay. If someone gave me £1,000, I would like pay my bills. Yeah. As in, I wouldn't even think to myself, like, oh yeah, what am I gonna do? I literally be like, all right, great, credit card, this bill, rent, this. Say maybe if I have enough left, something for savings. But like, literally, it's like you have your petrol, unexpected shit happens.
You're saying
shit.
Petrol alone, £70-something. Then you put on your credit card. Nah, it would do nada.
It's wild. Yeah, it's very wild to me. I literally, it's so crazy to me. But it's, again, in her mind, that's the best case scenario. She's doing all of this, risking jail time, for £1,000. So it's like, I can't even be mad at these guys because, like, clearly, it's not, do you know what I mean? It's not computing.
Yeah.
So that's what Victoria says, you know, oh, I'm doing this and I really hope I can get some money so I can help out my parents and stuff. Meanwhile, Zachary, and this is how I know that his family has money, he decides that he wants to go skiing and he wants to get a Moncler two-piece puff coat and dungarees. First of all, the dungarees, ? But he wants to do image gang. Like, his whole thing is like, oh yeah, I want to just be a bad boy for life. Like, I want to
because he probably like got grounded for smoking like, you know, some weed at home. So his parents said, you're not going on that ski trip. So he's doing this extra bit just to
himself.
Fam, like, his priorities are like, this is a rich boy from so Highgate. Warped. Like, come on.
I'm like, this guy has not suffered in his life. Like, this is giving privilege. I literally was like, how did you even get here? Like, how did they even find you? So how are you following these people?
I feel like he did this to be like down. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is? You know how Drake and that guy commented on his post and he said, I followed your wife because she needs some excitement in her life. I feel like for Zachary, he was like, I need a bit of excitement in my life.
Something
like,
fun, like,
and I can go and tell all my friends. Oh,
I did this. I was with the blacks.
Yeah, I was with the blacks. So Opinion's getting wined and dined, and then she asks what he does for a living, and he's like, I mean, to his credit,
from the bat.
To his credit, he's like, you know, do you really want to know? Like, can you handle this? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, so boom, like, I do bank fraud,
And she's like, oh my God.
A smart person would have jumped out the car and taken an Uber home, but I didn't want to be judgmental.
I'm sorry. If you want to judge, first of all. And second of all, if you don't want to judge, you can also just be like, okay, well, I hear it. Love that for you. God bless you in all your future endeavors. But it's not a bit of me. I'll be on my way. Thank you very much. Good night, sir. Like, that could have been the thing.
That could have been okay.
Like, you, just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean that you're judging them for what they're doing. Like, you can say to them, look, I disagree and I'm going to be on my way. Or you can say, no, how dare you? I can't believe you do that. No, that's disgusting. That's shit. That's da-da-da-da. So anyway, that was again probably point number 2 where she could
But
have walked
even him
away.
saying to her, like, how do you think, like, I got it like this? Like, he's basically like, bro, like, be real. Like, because any guy you see that's, like, young and has all this money, he's obviously, like, banging F, as they say.
I feel
as
like
the kids say.
Yeah, as the kids say, yeah, doing up F. It's so funny because what else would F? Anyway, but it's just you think to yourself, like, especially at that age, like, I'm not saying that, okay, you went to uni, now you work in finance, now you have a cheeky Audi, now you're doing things. Cool. I'm not saying that, you know, you definitely do fraud or the police deserve to stop you, whatever, but sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like in this situation, it just didn't make sense. I hear it, him being like, bro, like, are you dumb? Of course I do fraud. Where do you think this came from? So Zachary's back, and he, once again, we're getting another explanation of money muling, right? And it's like, okay, cool. We've had 2 on-screen texts describing this money muling thing, but since you think that we still don't get it, let's go again.
So the way Squares works on money muling is essentially someone will say, can I have your debit card for around 1 to 2 weeks? And in that time, I need you to give me your PIN, I need you to give me all your login details, and I don't want you to touch it, I don't want you to use that card, I just want you to wait, and I will get in contact with you again. And essentially, the catch is, by doing that, you will then get some money left behind on your account. And then, yeah, you go on your way, you've got that cash to spend, you can buy nice things, and that's the end of the story.
So like sometimes they'll take your card for like 1 to 2 weeks. They'll take
my
your
card
card,
with
as in
my
like
money.
it's no longer in your possession. They take your card, yeah, and you give them your details, so you can't use the card. You have to just wait. And so essentially, like, they use your bank account to like pass money from one account of theirs to your account to another account. Hence the laundrette situation, yeah. But then they leave you some money. Yeah, they clean it. They leave you some money as like payment.
Yeah.
And so for someone to just take your card, so now you don't have a card. So how are you getting about? What are you doing? How are you getting back? Like,
Funny you say that. I had your cards for over how many months?
it's true, you know.
And then I literally had a panic attack because I was like, oh my gosh, this guy must have forgotten.
But then for me, yeah, if I can't find my card, I'm very quick to cancel a card and get a new one.
But cancelling a card is actually so much
not.
stress.
No, it's not.
Like,
you just do it on your app.
yeah, you do it on your app and then you have to wait for it to come, and then
Yeah.
you can't use if it's on your Apple Pay, you can't use it because you have to load the
fair.
new card. So like, I'm like, I will cancel that card when I'm 100, because I've cancelled a card before and found the old
And then
one.
you found it.
Yeah, and it pissed me off. So like, I'll only cancel that card when I'm 100% sure. And you have to add that new card to like all your shopping. Like, nah.
Yeah, it's true. You have to remember a new number.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, you know on Monzo and also on, I think it depends what banking apps you have. You can freeze the card. So like sometimes like you can just freeze it and then like till you find it.
Yeah, all my card providers, like, you can freeze, to be fair, but like I will only cancel a card when I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I remember
I'm
outside your
not
house, I lost my card.
Did
Like,
you?
I don't know where we were coming back from, but we got off the bus. Can you remember the bus
Wow, how
times?
long ago was this?
Girl, it was very long ago. The ghetto. We got off the bus, and that's when you could tap with your. Were you tapping with your card? I don't know. I must have used my card to tap at the station or something, and put it in my pocket, or thought I had. Then we got on the bus, got to your house, and I was leaving, and I couldn't find my card, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me calm down. When I get home, I'll find it. Looking, and I couldn't find it. Yeah, and then the next day, I just see like petrol, Nando's,
Stop it.
Dixie Chicken,
Oh my
Audi.
God.
This person went out to eat twice with my card. Okay.
I feel like this is coming back to me.
Yeah, twice to eat with my card. Then they got petrol, and then they did their shopping at Audi. And then like, so by the time I got home and I realized, yeah, I'd really lost this card, I moved all my money out of like that account to a different account. And then the next morning, because this was before you would get the notifications on your phone. Yeah. So like, I woke up and I went to check, and I saw all of the pending transactions coming out of my account, and I was like, you're kidding me. So I obviously called my bank and I was like, bro, I didn't like spend this money. This was not me. Yeah. And they're like, okay, we'll refund you. We'll cancel the card. We'll get you a new card. And I was like, no, but go and check the CCTV footage. I want to know who this is.
I want to know who it is. Where do they live?
Like, this person took my card. And for me, it wasn't even about the money. I think all in all, they probably spent like, because back then it was before Boris, so it was like maybe £150 in total. Yeah. So it wasn't even the money. It was more the principle. Like, you actually found a card and you're like, oh, it's payday. He went to fill up his tank. I'm assuming it's a man.
And so this is what I'm saying
eat
about
out
life.
twice.
Yeah.
Even me, the owner of the card and the money. If I go
Do
to
I eat out
Nando's,
twice?
that okay. In a week, talk about in a day. You went to Nando's. You went to, nah.
No, because you know what? Do you know what it is? It's like opportunity. They've probably been praying for God, like, God, please send me a sign, yeah. And then they said they saw a shiny card because. And this is what I mean by adulting is fucking shit, yeah. Imagine they didn't go to Louis, they didn't go to Fendi, they went to Aldi, and they went to get
down
petrol.
Down bad.
This is what I'm saying. Down, but they went.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like it's actually wild.
It's actually insane. Like,
but that is
crazy.
that someone using your card. Oh my god, it's such a violation. It's crazy.
Like it's almost like they're in your pant. Like, you use my card. Like, my money. I know how I manage my money. I know how I move. I know how I budget.
And it's like for you to do an Aldi shop, yeah. Are you not worried that maybe the card will decline, or you don't know the pin, or they'll ask you for, like, it's what I'm saying.
Even with contactless payments, like, there've been times when my card has declined the contact. Yeah, so ask you for
when
pin,
you tap too much.
But you know what I always think? I always say these people that do stuff like this, you don't even know my own situation.
Exactly.
Like, I literally could be on my last. Like, I could have needed that money to pay for anything, for my kids' food, anything. Like,
or I could have had nothing in there.
Literally.
Now me and you were both down, but I left the card on purpose.
Now we're both stupid. Now everything's declining for both of us.
Now look at you, look at me. Yeah, very ridiculous. Very ridiculous. So yeah, on-screen text tells us the consequences of this whole money muling thing can be bank account closure, difficulty getting a phone contract, and then the risk of a 14-year prison sentence. And now we're in the UK, so no one's getting a 14-year prison sentence, so even forget that one.
Yeah.
But not being able to have a bank account is, at the very least, embarrassing. Like,
and also you might not be able to get a mortgage. But then I didn't realise this is why a lot of people have like online banks, because they are more...
Yeah, because they've been declined from everywhere else.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
So you have to kind of try and get your credit up. But I don't know, if you have an online bank, can you then... does that help you to then get in better stead to get a normal bank? Or is it that's just your only option?
I think after
now?
some time you can get like a normal bank account, but I don't know... Like, I don't know if the online banking, like, I know a lot of people who only have Monzo. Like, I remember one time, like, this guy that sells weed was like, yeah, he only has, like, he doesn't have a card.
But why haven't you had a bank account? Like, my bank account's been running for, like, decades because my parents set up a bank account for me when I was younger.
So who you talking about, the guy that sells weed?
No, mine.
Yeah, what about yours?
What I'm saying is that, like, it's strange to me when people haven't had a bank account for a long time.
Well, I mean, people's parents are different, isn't it? Like, some people's parents didn't set them up. But, like, this guy, or maybe he'd been declined, right? Because he did nonsense. But, like, he was like, yeah, he doesn't have an account. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have an account? He's like, yeah, like, if you want to give him money, transfer him money, put it in his friend's account. I was like, what do you... And the friend only had, like...
he doesn't have an account at all.
He doesn't have an account.
I thought he said he had Monzo. He doesn't have anything.
No, the friend has Monzo.
The friend has Monzo.
He doesn't have anything.
So how does he work?
Maybe he's an illegal. Like, maybe he doesn't have like. Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah. He hasn't got the right to
but how do you just function? How do you function without
I think especially in this day and age where everything is like cards.
Do they even do cash in hand? This is why when I go to like the nail shop or like the salon and they're like oh, cash, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me?
For you to say cash only, it's like, come on, man. Now you're
I know it's taxes, but like, bro, like, come on.
It's
like,
even more bait now that it's taxes.
Yeah, because
I should call the HMRC to come and check.
I had to call my dad and ask him to bring me cash one day when I was doing my hair, because I was like, are you guys actually kidding me? Like,
that's crazy. If I leave now, then what? Do you know, actually one time I was getting a pedicure and I think I had like £30 in cash because I knew it was going to be a cash situation. They said, oh, it's 32. I was like, so are you going to allow me the £2 or your room's going to take out a tenner to come and...
to split? You must
split.
Be,
You're
you
crazy.
Must be having a
and then they were like, oh, you can transfer it to us. You can do
transfer the £2
bank transfer
for the £2.
No, so I just did the £32 in bank transfer.
Which place was this? Was this near my house?
No. This was in my new ends. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because near my house they do bank. They do bank transfer, and that's the first place I've ever been to see my nails where it's bank transfer. So I even have them saved as a. Leave them.
Yeah, me too. It's like, why do I have you in my?
I know one day the government's gonna run around all these shops and be like, you have to have a card system.
But the thing is, I don't think that they can like not have cash. Like it has to be an option. There's never going to be a time. Well, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a time in life when like cash is not even a thing anymore. But I can't imagine that it would be.
I think cash in terms of like it will be obsolete in like, I don't know, next 10-15.
That's wild, you know.
I don't
That's so
carry
wild.
cash. Like I have
Yeah, it's true.
I have these stupid £4 coins in my like wardrobe,
Yeah,
and they've
yeah,
been there, and I'm like,
just
what
in
the hell am I
case.
gonna do with these coins?
No,
Like,
I always have like a tenner. Do you know, before I used to always have like a tenner on me in case I need to wash my car, because it used to be like £8 to wash my car, and now it's like £15 to wash my
so
car.
I'm not gonna carry that around. Like, what am I carrying that
So I
around
have
for?
to now go and take it out. It's ridiculous.
And it's just, I'm
Then I have
thinking
to
that
take out 20.
£15 in cash that I have there is money that's not in my account. Like,
Yeah,
used
exactly.
To,
now I'm broke. Now I'm 15. I'm
like, I
£15
feel
broker
like
than
people
I.
who actively carry cash is an indicator of age. Like,
Yeah,
it's like my mum and my dad will not let go of cash. Like, my mum will always like have
cash is king.
cash. Like, how can you not carry cash? And I'm like, bro, what am I doing?
For
Like,
what?
what am I doing with cash? Like, where am I going? That is cash. Like,
Even taxi is Uber, bro. They don't
Bro.
even want cash. They
Even Black
actively
Cab.
don't want cash.
yeah, these geriatrics,
These baby boomers.
literally baby boomers.
I was listening to this podcast today, yeah, and it was talking about, is it worth having kids? And it was so interesting
Why?
because it was like, why do people have kids? Like, what is the reason?
Send me. Is it what you have in your story?
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
It's really. I like that podcast. It makes me feel like I'm learning something.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
called It's called No Stupid Questions.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, there isn't a reason to have children. Like, even when you ask,
just do.
you just
like,
do.
Your reason is like, I wanted to. That's the reason.
Yeah, I wanted
And that's
to,
fine.
and that's okay. It's like everything though. Like, but you can say that with everything. Like, I remember my mum was telling me how like a lot of these like environmentalists have like been going around like putting holes in 4x4 tires.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, like, can you imagine that you spent all this money on your Range or like your Mercedes, whatever?
It's just or you're getting ready to go somewhere and now you've got a flat tire.
And I was like, no, this is actually ridiculous. Like, if like some people need to have a big car, like they have big families. She was like, yeah, but you don't need to. Like, you could have like a saloon, and it still is substantial to carry your kids.
Yeah.
You've made the choice.
It's a choice.
And it's the same with everything. So
Yeah.
I want kids because I just want them.
I just
like,
want them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the question was like, is it worth it? Like, what do you gain? And then they were talking about this study where, sorry guys, detour. They were talking about this study where like they were looking at people who don't have kids and people do have kids, like who's happier, kind of. And they were saying that men with kids tend to be happier than men without kids, but women with kids tend to be less happy than.
Oh, I wonder why that is.
Right. And so the host, one's a man and one's a woman, right? And so the woman was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, oh, that surprises me. And she's like, of course it surprises you. Like, as a woman, like, you are responsible for all the child rearing and all that stuff and taking care of the kids. As a father, it's just like, oh, yeah, my sperm works. Like, it's great, you know? But then they were also saying that, like, in countries where there's like better parental support and stuff like that, those people with children are happier than those without children.
Yeah.
So there's loads of factors to consider. Blah,
Like,
blah,
I
blah,
can
blah.
understand why in the UK people don't want kids, because the UK is a very like individualistic like country.
Yeah, you're
like
on
you'll
your
see
own.
people like they don't chat to their parents, they don't chat to their siblings, right? But
Yeah.
like when you come from like Nigerian culture, for example, it takes a village is like a real deal. Like, your family will help you, even if
You're
like
not alone.
even growing up. Like my grandma came, she did like omogo, she stayed with us and stuff like that. Like, as much as they didn't live in this country, and like my grandparents were really involved in like our upbringing
Raising you
and
guys.
raising us, like, so, and family friends and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like aunties
Having
and
people around.
yeah. So then the burden isn't as much, and you actually get to enjoy
On one
parts of
person.
parenthood rather than like just doing it on your own. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
it
know
makes
how
sense.
we got here.
Boy, how do we get anywhere? To be honest,
I don't know.
so we're back with Ufunne, who she's had 2 dates with the fraudster. Yeah, so she had date number 1. She found out he did fraud. She continued. Now she's had date number 2. Yeah, so this bit is so fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just, I literally rolled my eyes so hard for this bit. She gets a call from the guy, the fraudster. He's mad hysterical, you know. He's saying that he's broken down on the motorway and he needs her to send him money.
Not
yeah,
the Tinder swindler.
bruh. He said my enemies. I'm like,
enemies
first of all,
after me.
RAC, AA, no one can come and pick you up. All that car, no insurance.
Okay.
Right. So he's now saying to her, you know, how she's his girl and like she's the only person he can rely on. And she, to her credit, is like, bro, like, we just met. Like, I don't really know you like that. And at this point, I'm like, yes, girl, well
I'm thinking
done.
she can do this. Yeah.
The sense is returning to her body. And then he's like, nah, you're my girl. Like, who else am I meant to call? This is your responsibility.
Girl.
I said, sorry, what?
Sorry, whom's?
Sorry, where? No. I was like, is there a ring upon my finger? And even if there was,
Even
like,
if there is, you better
even
call
if there
Jesus.
was, like, I'm like, please, you're broken down. Like, like, it's not even like your enemies are actually after you. Like, if your enemies are maybe after you, perhaps then I feel a bit more like, oh,
Yeah.
your life is at risk. You literally, all you have to do is call RAC. You'll be fine.
You be alright. You be alright.
You'll be okay.
That's
They'll
what I'd
tell
say
you,
to him. I'm
bro.
like, bro, you be alright. Don't worry.
Bruh. So now she starts to feel bad, yeah? And on-screen text is like, she was groomed by the scammer for the next 18 months. 18 months. And it just goes to show that call was basically him, like, seeing how far he could take it, what he could get her to do. Yeah, exactly. So we're back with Zachary. What a typing. He's really going ham, boy. Can you leave my auntie alone, please?
She's in the zone.
You're in her house. So Zachary has the people them come to his house to pick up his card. Again, so now they know where you live.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's just me.
No, it's not just you.
Zachary, even today, like, to camera, he seems so happy about it. Like, it's like he's recalling a positive memory. I feel like to him, this was literally like he tells this story so many times.
But this is like his party story. Like, people always have like one story they tell, like, party. Oh my gosh, guys, and everyone's like, oh my god, no way, like, you survived that. Oh god, I don't know how you did it. Like, this is his story.
Oh, Zach, come and tell them about that time that you met the blacks and you got scammed.
Oh, no, they came to his house, guys. No, I'm being serious. They came to his house. It was so scary,
mate. So yeah, it's really strange. Like, but then also at this point, I was like, oh, he's kind of young. Maybe he just feels like, at this time, it was whatever. Like, maybe he looks back at it like, oh, maybe I was so dumb. But like, I don't think so. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's kind of like, wow, I can't believe this happened. Wow, amazing, rad, so cool.
Oh my god, wow.
So he's really impressed by the white Mercedes that the scammers are in when they come to pick up the card, and he's really impressed by what they're wearing. And he's like, yeah, like, I'm trying to be really calm and not appear scared. And this is when we get the cringe. This is when it's just so cringe. It's so cringe. I'm like, bro, like,
what are you even saying? That's even on top of, like,
doing?
what are you saying?
You're right. This is my square. You're not gonna do nothing nasty still, though. You're gonna look after me like they're like, it's gonna be fine, mate. We're gonna pop it off, mate. You're gonna have bags of money. Look at all this money. Look at this money I pulled in.
And it's like, who do you think that you're fooling? You think these scammers picked you for bands? Like, they targeted you.
Like, literally,
You were
what are
a
you chatting
victim.
about?
What are you chatting about? So Victoria also has her card collected. She gets scared, so she doesn't like come out the house. She just throws the card down for them to come and collect it. And the scammers are like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. So when their clocks that, like, her man, so the scammer, the groomer / her man, the same man, yeah. He wants basically this bit. I was getting a bit tired, I'm not gonna lie, but she basically saying that, like, there's a one point where she's in the car with him and some other scammer friends, and they have loads of, like, people's IDs and stuff, and he's like looking at their IDs and looking at her, looking at their IDs, looking at her, and she clocks that they basically want her to impersonate these people so that she can go into the bank and withdraw money, basically.
But it's not that simple. Like, they ask more.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe I misunderstood, because it doesn't really make sense to me that you can just show someone your ID. We're not getting into a club here. Like, you're literally trying to withdraw money from the thing. And I know, there's, like, racism in terms of, like, people who are different races.
But they're still going to ask you questions.
Yeah, they're still going to ask you questions. Like, very strange. And, like, security questions. But I guess those people probably have given them the answers.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Vicky, oh, what a sad state of affairs. She tries to buy deodorant, yeah, and her card gets declined, and so she's really sad.
Crazy scenes,
bruh. But then
now you're broke and stinking.
Now you're broke and you smell.
It's just like double whammy.
It's a sad state of affairs. But then she clocks that she's got £4,000 in her account, and she's like happy, because remember, she was expecting 1,000, and she was really happy with the 1,000, and she gets 4 times that. Like, wow. Literally living the life la vida.
Yeah.
So then Zach realizes that he has 30,000 in his, and I'm like, why did you give Vicky only 4k, but you gave Zach 30k?
It's a different provider.
Oh, of course, yeah, they're different people,
if
innit?
you don't go to the same provider, you won't get the same deals. So.
Well, yeah, and also I think it's dumb to have 30k in your account. Like, you've had nothing, and
you
now
had
you have
nothing.
30K.
You're literally.
Do you think no one's gonna notice that?
Literally.
It's not even like you trickled down, like, oh, 1 month you had maybe
said,
200. 200. They said, bam, literally 30k.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So of course, both Vicky and Zach get a call from the bank, right, to come in talking about the fact that they've had thousands of pounds deposited into their account. Yeah. So they go to the bank, and it's only at the bank that they realize the gravity of the situation. So Zach lies, and he says his auntie lives in Indonesia and she sent it to him for his uni fees, which of course can be easily disproved because
They will trace where the money came from.
What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. And then Vicky, to be fair, like, and this is the difference between Zach and Vicky. Like, Vicky is very remorseful and she's very embarrassed. She's ashamed, yeah. Zach is like telling the story, like, oh my days, you went to this club, it was so cool. Yeah. That's the vibe that he's giving. So Vicky gets told that her card was used to deposit a check, and that money was stolen from a cancer charity. So she feels really bad, right? And she finally tells the truth. And her dad is there, and Uncle is so disappointed because she's maintaining all this time that like she doesn't know what happened or whatever. And then she has to admit it, and her dad is there, and she's like her dad.
But I would have lied and just said my card got stolen.
Yeah.
Like.
But then I guess they probably were spending the money.
Who?
The people who like them, the Zach and thing.
Oh, because I thought they weren't because she said her card got declined.
No. I think her card got declined first, and then the money dropped. So then she was like, "Oh shit, I'm rich, bitch." Yeah. So yeah, she's Vicky's like the eldest child, and she's like, I wasn't a good example. Blah 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 blah, whatever. So Afuna's story is a bit madder because she actually had some money. And then because she'd given the details or whatever, they took that money, and so she couldn't pay her rent anymore. And so like now, she relies on him to give her money, and she also finds out that like he's doing the same thing to other girls. So like whether in the love aspect, as in like he's dating other girls and then like basically grooming them too, or in the aspect of like he's scamming other girls. Like in any case,
it's all wild. Yeah,
it's all wild, and it's all wrong. Yeah. So yeah, she's sad. And then Zach gets a letter after he goes to the bank. They close his bank account, yeah. And then that's again, he has a moment where he's like, oh shit, like this is really real. Obviously, it affects your, as Florence was saying, affects your ability to get a mortgage, to get a car, to get a phone contract, just like normal everyday things that you'll be doing at your age. Like, it's just a bit like, mate, was it worth it? That 30k, did you get your Moncler puffer jacket or did you what? Like did you go skiing?
In the end.
So this is really sad. Afuna tells us that she attempted suicide after this whole situation. She hasn't attempted it since, but she describes that at the time, like, her life was at rock bottom. Like, now she realizes it was all fake, it was all image, like, it's not that important.
It's not real life, yeah.
Yeah, it's not real life, and it's just really, really sad. Yeah, really sad. So now the documentary is coming to an end, basically with a plea to all the younger people out there, like, don't fall for this, this isn't great, blah, blah, blah. They've all learned their lesson, and we get some on-screen text. So we see Afunne, who is so, so pretty. Like, she's such a beautiful girl. And like she seems to be that way inside and out, which I think is why she was able to be taken advantage of so easily. So she's cleared her debts, which is great. She hasn't been in a long-term relationship since managing to break free of the fraudster.
Which is also great because men don't slap.
Right. So then we get Victoria. The police didn't press any charges against her, and she managed to buy her brother a pair of Huaraches with legit money. So that's one of the things she wanted to do. She wanted to get her brother some Huaraches, which I think is a really cute thing. This is such like older sister vibes. Like,
yeah, I just want to help my brother out.
Yeah, literally. Oh, Zach. So Zach was refused by all the high street banks when he tried to open another account. He has since managed to sign up with a digital bank. And this picture, so the on-screen text is like Instagram vibes, right? So it looks like an Instagram post of them, and then like, an iMessage thread basically of their update. And Zach's picture, he has what I presume is a Burberry faux Burberry umbrella, and he's wearing a an orange, I would say an orange coloured suit, and a satin orange tie, and a crisp white shirt.
I'm a classic man.
Yeah, he's giving classic man.
Yeah.
He's giving classic man. So yeah,
that's the end.
That's the documentary. That's it. I don't think you need to watch it unless you are 18 to 23 and you are at risk of being scammed. I think maybe then watch it. But
23 scammed. That's wild though. Come on,
mate. People be scammed all the time.
I guess so.
They be scammed all the time. So now it's time for
The real crime, I think, was the beard.
our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. Have
Zach.
you got one?
It's Zach. Zach is the crime. Forget everything else that happened. Zach is the crime.
Do you know what? Mine was also Zach related. Mine was the fact that he wanted dungarees. Like, you literally were doing for to buy dungarees, brother. Dungarees.
Lock him up based off of that.
Dungarees. That's what you... Now you can't open a real bank account because you wanted dungarees.
Lock him up.
Montclair or not, I don't care.
It's dungarees.
Very wild behaviour. So what are we doing next?
I'm not going to pretend to know. So
Next.
it's like those women that pretend to like dip into their wallets, their bags. Sorry, when it's time to pay.
on a date. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm not going to pretend and say,
No.
yeah,
Because no.
yeah.
So next we are doing Cold Case: The Tunbridge Wells Murders, which is a BBC documentary. Now I've watched it. Yeah, I did not see where it was going. I did not see where it was going.
I'm hoping there was a like pleasant surprise at the end.
Oh, there was no pleasants.
So
But
you
there were
just-
surprises.
Oh, okay. okay.
But so this that episode is going to drop in 3 weeks. We're going to take a break for 3 weeks. So this episode will drop on the 24th of July, which I know sounds like a long time, guys, and I'm sorry, but like life is life, isn't it? So
It's life in.
there are like a million episodes that you can go back and just re-listen to. Some notable favourites of mine are the way I was like gonna come with a whole list. The Lottery Liar is probably my
Yeah,
favourite.
you say
episode
this
we've ever
every
done.
week.
I love that episode. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous story.
Yeah.
And because it's such an old documentary, like you can't even find it anywhere but YouTube.
So yeah, I'd say that's one of my faves as well.
Yeah. I liked the Pharmacist episodes 1 and 2. It was excruciating at the time of recording.
Yeah, but
it's
it
great
was funny to listen
back.
to.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that one too. I also like Pray Away. Pray Away is a
That
great
was
episode.
good. Yeah.
And a great documentary on Netflix if you want to watch it. But yeah, you can basically listen to whatever you want in the meantime.
Yeah. Do you?
Okay. Do
Just
you,
share it.
sis?
Just share it. Share it with all your friends.
And then rate us 5 stars only
Yeah.
on Spotify. You can leave us a review on Apple, which helps because then other people can find us just like you did. And yeah, anything else you'd like to say?
Bye.
Bye.
This is the story of 2 young women.
People were thinking this is a serial killer.
Their murders in a quiet town in the 1980s.
There was quite a lot of blood around Wendy's head, around the bedding.
It became apparent that Caroline hadn't just simply disappeared.
And the extraordinary investigation which brought the killer to justice.
In 2019, we had a breakthrough. Bingo.
It looks like he's got some hard drives in there, I would say.
An investigation which uncovered the darkest secrets.
Looking at this, excuse me.
Of a man who picked his victims from among the dead.
Did you listen to what I'm going to say?
Yes.
Every single one of us has that same wish for someone that we've lost. And that's that they rest in peace.